Brooke. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. I so appreciate you joining me today. We're going to go ahead and get started right away. If you have a block, go ahead and grab it. If you don't, no worries. We can still get into these positions without it. So just go ahead and keep that close by within arm's reach. And then once you're ready, plant your feet, bend your knees, and lower yourself down to the mat. We'll bring our knees into our chest. Our hands can be on our shins as we bring our forehead to our knees. Taking 2 rounds of breath here. And then we can start to point and flex our feet. And then we can finish up pointing and flexing our feet. Drop our head down to the mat. Keep those knees in towards our chest. We'll start to rock our head from side to side as if we're saying no. Moving 2 more times each way. Great. And then once you've finished going from left to right, making it even, bring that head back to center. Drop that left leg down and start to straighten through that right leg. I want you to flex that right foot. Then I want you to point it and bend your knee. Flex that foot at the bottom and straighten your leg. At the top we point and bend. At the bottom we flex and straighten. One more time, point and bend, flex and straighten. And we bend that knee back down. Bring that knee into your chest. Just for a moment. One more breath here. And then we can go ahead and plant that leg down. Bring that left knee into your chest, or bring that left knee long over your body, pardon me. We're going to point our toe and bend our knee. At the bottom of that, we'll flex our foot and straighten it. And we point and bend and flex and straighten, point and bend and flex and straighten. And then we'll bend that knee and bring that knee into our chest. And then we'll drop that left foot back to the mat. We'll open our feet as wide as our mat. Your arms can be wherever is comfortable, whether that's long on the mat or if you want to bring them to your belly. Once your feet are as wide as your mat, I want you to start to drop them over to the left hand side. And we're going to hold it here for 3 breaths. Moving those knees back to center and then dropping them over to the other side. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. Bring your knees back to center and then making sure that your feet are still as wide as your mat. Drop those knees in towards each other. If your knees don't reach, just take a couple steps in with your feet so that your knees can reach. We'll take 3 breaths here. And then open up those knees, start to walk your feet in so that they're about fist distance apart. So if you want to look up and kind of measure a little bit, it's okay if you just want to guess without looking. We'll bring our feet there. And so here's where we're going to use our block. And again, you don't need it, but if you have it, you can pick it up. And then once you have that, start to press your hips up towards the ceiling and taking the flat side or the short side of the block, you're going to just put that right underneath your hips. And then you can open up your arms to the ceiling, palms to the ceiling. And let's take 4 rounds of breath here. Finishing up that last breath, you can start to bring that right knee in towards your chest, and then you can start to extend that left leg long. Make sure both of your feet are flexed, and then try to bring that right knee in just a little bit more towards your chest as you actively reach that left leg, and drop it to the mat. We'll take 4 rounds of breath here. We can release that right leg down, bring that left leg into your chest. Start to lengthen through that right leg, flex both of your feet, and breathe. And then go ahead and release that leg back down to the mat. Bend through that right leg. We're going to take 5 breaths here in the supported bridge pose. Again, turning those palms so they're facing the ceiling, arms are long by your side, and take 5 rounds of breath here. Finishing up that last breath here. Turn those palms so they're facing down. Actively press into the ground or your mat as you lift those hips up, removing that block and setting it to the side. Once you're there, we're going to start to cross our right leg over our knee. And you can stay right here if this feels like a nice hip stretch. If you want a bit more, you can start to lift your head and shoulders off the mat, bringing those knees into your chest, and then interlace those hands behind your left thigh. Once you're there, you can start to lower your head if you'd like. And breathe. We'll be here for 5 rounds of breath. And then we can release that left leg back down to the mat. We're going to stay on the same side. So my right leg is going to cross over my left. I can bring my arms out to a T or wherever is comfortable if you want it to a full T, or if you just want them long by your side. We're coming into a twist. So we're going to drop those knees to the left. We can use our left hand to guide those knees closer to the mat. We extend that right arm behind us as we try to draw our shoulder to the mat, and our gaze is over that right hand. We're going to breathe here for 5 rounds of breath. Finish up your last breath here, and then move those legs back to center, uncrossing that right leg. Now we move to the left side. So we take that left ankle, we cross it on top of the knee. We start to bring that leg into our chest as our head and shoulders come off the mat. Interlace our hands behind that thigh. And if we can drop our head back down to the mat. Flex both of your feet and breathe. And then we can begin to release that right leg back down to the mat. And we're staying on the same side. We cross that left leg over. We start to drop our knees over to that right side. Our left arm comes long behind us and our gaze is over that left arm. We're trying to draw our left shoulder to the mat. And we breathe here. We can bring those knees back to center, uncross your legs and plant your feet. We're going to be getting into our arms a little bit here. So you can keep your legs just as they are, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can start to extend those legs long. So we're going to bring those arms over our chest, palms facing each other. And with that, keeping our arms nice and straight, we inhale, and on the exhale, we start to reach those arms long behind us. We'll feel that stretch in our shoulder, and we'll take 3 rounds of breath here. And then we'll bring them back up over our chest. We'll do that one more time. So big inhale here. Exhale, keeping those arms long and extending them behind us. We take 3 rounds of breath. And now this time, keeping your arms where they're at, we're going to start to interlace our fingers and then turn our palms up towards the ceiling. Bring those hands as close to your head as you can, and then start to lower them to the mat. With that, your elbows will start to flare open, and we'll get even more into the shoulder here. We'll take 4 rounds of breath here. And then finishing up that last breath, we can start to extend our arms long, unlacing our fingers, bringing them back over center, and then dropping them all the way down to the mat. Next, we're going to come into happy baby pose. So we're going to start to bring both our legs up at the same time, and we're going to start to extend those legs long. Now, the modification for this pose is to stay just as is right here. So you keep your legs as straight as you possibly can, trying to make sure that your knees and your hips and your ankles are all in a line as best as you can. Obviously, you'll have a bent knee, and that's fine, but that's kind of the general vicinity you want to be in, is about, if your knees are bent about right here. So then if that is all you got, and that is totally fine, we all started somewhere, you can stay right there. But for the rest of us who can bend those knees a little bit closer to our mat, we can use our peace fingers to grab those big toes. And what I want you to do here is to focus on extending through that lumbar spine by pulling your belly button into your spine and then pressing your spine into the mat. And so we'll take 3 rounds of breath here. I know people like to move, and we will, but just hold it here. 2 more breaths. And then here we go. You can start to rock side to side. We'll do it 4 times each way. And 1 more time each way. And then an option here is to start to extend your right leg long as you bring your left leg in towards yourself. And with that, we can rock just a little bit to the right hand side. We'll take 1 round of breath here. And then we'll slowly start to rock over to the other side as we extend that left leg long and bring that right leg in. 1 round of breath here. And then we'll do it 1 more time each way. This time we're going to hold it for 2 rounds of breath. And then we rock over to the other side as we switch, holding it here for 2 rounds of breath. And then we come back to center. We can let go of our feet. And when it comes to that reclined butterfly, so we bring the soles of our feet together and we let our knees open up as wide as feels good for us. You can bring your hands to your belly, and we're going to take about 5 breaths here. So I really want you to focus on your breath here. One more breath here. And then we can use our hands to bring our knees in back towards center. We're going to extend our legs long. We're going to bring our arms long over our head. Come into a full body stretch. If you want to roll out your wrists and your ankles one way and then the other, really fully reaching, extending that body. Big inhale here, and then exhale. We lower our hands and our arms and our legs, melting ourselves into the mat here, preparing ourselves for Shavasana. And with that, we bring 1 hand to our belly and 1 hand to our heart, and go ahead and focus inwardly, trying to be present here in this moment. We'll be here for about a minute. Take 3 more breaths here in Shavasana. And then start to bend your left leg, planting that foot. Bend your right leg, plant that foot. And then roll over onto your side. Taking 2 breaths here in the fetal position. And then pressing yourself up. Finding a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Thanking yourself for being here today. I thank you for being here. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to comment. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.